It was supposed to be some attached. It's just a letter. Okay. Oh, you, sir.
Time to go? All right, call the meeting to order for the Manchester Water and Sewer Commission for September the 4th, 3 o'clock. First order of business is roll call.
Okay. Mayor Hobbs,
Here.
Chairman Anderson,
Here.
Vice Chairman Watson, Secretary Gary Hunt,
Here.
Commissioner Wilson,
Here.
and then we got Alderman Foster,
Here.
Director Jeff Berry, Assistant Director Lonnie Foley,
Here.
and Billing Office Manager Jennifer Hall.
All right, and we have a quorum.
So one thing I want to add to number 4 on the agenda is it's the old water treatment plant and having it bypassed. I've got a quote from Adam to have that done. And we can
The water pumping station.
Yes, sir.
Right, okay. And I want to add one too. I want to add below all of that, commissioners' comments. Give everybody a chance to speak.
Yes, sir.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve the agenda as changed.
I'll make a motion that we,
Have a motion, second?
Second.
Have a second? Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. None opposed. All right, citizens' comments. Anybody? All right. Next item is a review of the minutes from July the 3rd. Chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes as written.
I move that we accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion on the minutes? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, Jerry and I will sign these. And next item on the agenda is the mayor's report.
So, I'd like to welcome Alderman Carlson to the committee. We do committees every year in September. The rest of this is the grants that we're currently working on. If you don't care, can you kind of go through them as far as where we're at?
Yes, sir.
But these are the ones that we currently have. I don't think I left any off, did I?
Yes, sir. So Basin I, the sewer rehab, Willis Farm, the Skinner Flat. I mean, I guess they're almost wrapping up with that, and, the Duke's Rehab, or Duke's Root Control, excuse me, Stewart was supposed to be here today to inform, just to kind of give a summary, and there was traffic back up in Chattanooga, so he texted me and said that he couldn't make it. But,
They're back on the site,
Yes,
the
sir.
8th, is that right, when they start back up?
yes, sir, so, they have a CCTV crew in town wrapping up, the lines that need to be, or needed to be cleaned. And, he said that he'll be here for the next meeting. So, the Norris Brothers on the Basins, ABEF, excuse me, that's, and I guess where they're at in that, they're still, I guess, pushing along.
They are, I mean, I just roughed up in the air estimate, they probably got a couple of months left.
City Works, can you just tell us kind of, I mean, are we close to implementing that?
So,
Does everybody know what City Works is?
So asset management, right?
So we're supposed to have a training in Murfreesboro coming up soon before it goes live. We've had regular meetings, and Miss Kathleen has been working on City Works. She's moved down to her shop now, and she's been doing a lot of City Works stuff, trying to get familiar with it. Lonnie is well versed with City Works as well, so once it goes online, we'll have some experience, and the training beforehand in Murfreesboro will be very valuable to us.
I mean, are most of our assets, I mean, so the way this works, you're able to put assets in, you're able to build jobs out of inventory, it'll manage inventory for them, it'll tell them all the things as they do a job, what they took out of inventory and when to reorder. And that was part of a grant. Which one was that, Adam? Didn't we do a grant for
The
this?
ARP, it was a requirement of the ARP, is building an asset management plan.
So Jeff and his team have been working to get that online. Probably just a tad bit behind where we want to be, but we've had Lonnie come on board and some different ones, so it's good that it's all working out that way. I put this on here, from time to time, we have to write letters to TDEC, or we receive letters from TDEC when we have events that happen within the system. I guess probably, and it's up to you guys, I think you probably should get them and read them, they're public. But we'll start making those available to the committee as we get them or send them.
I think that would be,
Well, that gives you a state of what's happening, right? I think.
be helpful.
Yeah, we had several events happen in August, that just a little out of our control, machinery or things quit on us and different things, but anytime you have a upset to the system, we have to notify them guys about that. So I think it'd be good for this committee to understand how many you're having and what that looks like, so that you can kind of have an idea. And then I put this on here, Jeff, and we hadn't had a chance to talk, but I would like to start including a monthly tap request, right? How many people are asking to get onto our system every month? Whether it be new construction, new subdivisions, whatever, but what are we bringing online, so that some of that can be easily done. Supply water loss, right, just so we can track it month over month. As you guys fix things and repair them, we should see that decrease and get better.
On the water loss thing, there's a gentleman that used to come and walk the entire system, and he's real good at finding water leaks. He's supposed to be coming back and discussing with us his services. I want to say it's probably been 5 years or more, I think he told me, since he used to do it for the city of Manchester on a yearly basis. And
You guys know who that is?
I think his name is
I know.
Joe Richardson, maybe. I've got his number on my phone.
Yeah.
But
Is it just a contract service? I mean,
yes, sir. I contacted him, and he was kind of leery about coming back, and I was able to talk to him, and
bad experience?
I guess so.
Okay.
And he always, from previous people in the water distribution office, he always did an excellent job and was able to find water leaks that we would have never known. Small ones, big ones, out in the county. I mean, he walks the entire system.
What do you think we're kind of running, just as a rough idea right now?
I have to look at it.
Okay.
I don't want to give a wrong answer.
Well, I think it'd be good to just kind of let everybody see that on a
Yes, sir.
monthly basis too.
I think over the annual basis of the last time I looked at this for a 12-month period, we were losing somewhere around 13%, which ain't bad.
No.
That ain't bad at all.
Well, I think in one of the meetings we had, right, we had reported it got worse, and it may have been to some main breaks and some
Yes.
different things, but I mean, as long as we can say what's causing it, it helps
Right.
us to understand that better.
Month to month, it jumps all over the place.
Remember the, like, utility average is like 20%.
Yeah, yeah, so we're doing good, but one thing I will say, that new sewer tap, is good, new water line taps as well, because that plus the water loss should be something we're reporting to Duck River at each of their monthly meetings. Nelson's not here, but he and I serve on the Duck River Utility Commission, and those are the kinds of things that's important to that commission. How much water we're losing and how many new customers we get. So I'm all for getting that information out and get it public.
Well, I mean, look, there's all kind of conversations that go on, right, about what we're doing and how much we're adding or taking off and all those things, and I think it's the committee's responsibility to understand what those are.
That's true, yeah.
Jeff, with the water percentage loss, I'd like to understand the financial impact of that also.
Yes, sir. And then the next one, Jeff, you've mentioned it in a couple meetings, right? And I just think it'd be good for us to start tracking. I know you're tracking it and we report it, but I just think that these guys probably ought to see what that is too. And, you know, you've been doing a great job, your team and everybody, and it's been coming down, and I think that you should get kudos for that. So let's put that in our monthly time report.
The guys have really been diligent in fixing the leaks, and I mean, it's been very good for our system. I'll start including that in the package.
Yeah, just include it, all right? Take 3 minutes as you go through, and we can just track it month over month. And then the other one I added is I mean, just, I think, as everybody starts understanding how many employees we have, and it helps them get a grasp of what we need. When you start asking for another crew, just so that they have an understanding of what we do today, right? I think you told me you have 2 crews, you'd like to have another one, and those are things that we probably need to start understanding a little better.
Mayor, I'd like to add to that too. Jeff, I would like to get an organizational chart
Yeah.
for the water department and see, because there's people down there that I know their faces, but I don't know their names, I don't know the positions. And I take a little pride in getting to know folks at the water department, and I mean, I know Terry, and, you know, I know some of the folks, but it would help to know who's feeling what role.
We have a org chart that's on Paycom, and Lonnie has been working on a org chart, and we'll get that to you.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't have to be every month, but something
No,
we can
it's-
start
it's
with.
Just, it shows each person their job. I mean,
Okay.
that can be, I can add it in next month's report, just so, also everybody can see.
Like you said, I mean, it's in Paycom, and Lonnie, if you come up with something different that's in Paycom, let's get it, send it to HR so we can get it corrected in there. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Jeff, what is your active number of heads right now, including yourself, entire department?
I'm gonna say it's
33.
33.
And is that Jennifer's group as well? or-
Yes, sir.
Okay, so total number today is 33.
So I guess
That's minus.
a couple,
Yeah.
that's the last time I
There you
looked at
go.
the number count.
Yeah, I think we're approved for 36. Does that sound right? Martin? You know what we're approved
I'm
for?
gonna say it's
I'm not sure.
39. I wanna say it's 39.
Has been full, so I've
6
been.
live right now.
Yes, sir. Which we had kind of force traded for one position, so.
Well, that's all I got.
Okay, Mayor, thank you. Next item on the agenda is Director's Report.
So, for the month of August, our department televised 10,830 foot of sewer. The water distribution, we had 3 main breaks, that we fixed, replaced 7 services, and made 3 water taps. The wastewater plant, I mean, it's always gonna be a laundry list of items that we fixed. One of the things that happened today, our belt press went down, and So we're gonna have problems pressing for a little bit until we get Paul-Tech, in to take a look at it. Some of the rollers, the bearings have popped out. But there's always maintenance and, go down to the collection system,
Let me ask one question. Under the biosolids, that's where we're hauling them
Yes,
out.
sir.
So, just so you guys know, right, I mean, the biosolids, we used to distribute them on farms around here, and we lost that deal. We've been really busy trying to keep up with other things and haven't tried to come up with a new farmer just yet. It's on the back of our mind. But right now, we're hauling that to Murfreesboro.
Republic Waste Services.
What was, it was $10,000 or so a year or something. I can't remember the number, but there is a fee involved to haul
Oh,
it
yeah.
off. So we were saving that money, but now we're gonna have to spend it until we come up with a new place.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So they did get all the backlog hauled off, and, which is a good thing.
That was quite the process.
Yes, sir. So we had 14 sewer lines that we fixed, and next time, I meant to bring the list, I'll start including the list for all the repair work that we've done. But it was clean outs, busted, or we had one sewer line that was poured through the gas line. And, 14 in 1 month, that's pretty good, for what crews, how many crews we have. The water billing office, which for, the system projects. Is there anything, Ms. Jennifer, in the billing office you'd like to add?
No, sir.
City Works, we discussed that. And, updated sorry, it's okay. So, one of the things, updated features in field maps and the implementation of City Works is going very well. The last training will be in person. We will have a date for the final training after our final online training.
How many folks are you sending to that training?
So, see, Amity, Terry, me, Lonnie, so it'll probably be us starting out.
4?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And once they start implementing it, they're supposed to come down and have more people kind of walking, people how to go through, because everybody's gonna have to have a tablet, or not everybody, but like foremen's on jobs will have
Right.
tablets, have an update what they're doing, what equipment's being used, so on and so forth. So on item, number 1, the current charges for Manchester Water and Sewer Department. Those are what we are currently charging for our services. And as you can see, a vac truck is $100. All the equipment is a lot lower than what it needs to be. And I wanted to wait until the rates were approved and just start implementing, increases in tap fees and everything that we got because we're so behind. But labor currently is $31.55 an hour that we charge for jobs. If you have any questions about any of that, feel free to ask.
Do you know when those were set?
It's a long time ago. The piece of paper that is written on is, you can barely make it out.
Okay.
It was, I don't know the exact date, but it was a long time ago.
Just a ballpark number, Jeff, do you think you're 10% low or 40% low, or?
Are you talking about on this?
Yeah.
On equipment, most places that I looked up charge between $150 to $200 for equipment per hour. I could be wrong, but that's the research that I found.
Okay.
And, again, this is factored into taps and, mean, you know, if we have something bust on us, obviously, that's a fee that we, we're not charging customers to go fix something versus broken.
So do these fees go on top of like a tap fee? Is that what?
It's all kind of plays into tap fees and everything else.
No, so what I'm asking is if you have a tap fee, do you charge for the equipment individually, or is that built into the tap fee?
It's built into the tap
Okay.
fee. The boring, so how it is how it is right now, there's a boring fee charged. They have to call the office every time to see if there's a boring fee. A lot of times, or call their office to see if we're gonna have to make a bore, so they can add that to the tap. A lot of utilities include the boring fee in it regardless. And, because it just takes out of the equation, you don't know what you're gonna get into. And if it's not, I mean, it's something we could look at refunding them $200 or whatever I change it to on the next page. So, yeah, so the boring was $200. So, you know, if the customer got a tap and paid and they didn't need a bore and we could just refund them the $200 or take it off when they get the tap. Unless we choose just to include it in the tap fee. That's something that'll come later on. But, the equipment, the vac truck, the Mini X, I listed them as $200 an hour, backhoe $150, TV van, the camera van $200 an hour if we have to go televise someone's sewer that just say if it's our problem, we're not gonna charge them. But if it's new lines installed or whatever, I mean, all this will be included. In which typically some of these things we'll never charge a customer for smoke testing. I mean, but unless they request it. And if they have a problem on them and we smoke test it, then that would be something I think we should charge them for, because we're providing them a service to find a leak on their side. Any questions on or discussion on the prices?
Would have been nice to see old, new percent increase, because I can't do all of that in my head with that many items, but,
Yes, sir.
also that's a substantial increase. I'm not saying it's not warranted. Those new rates look reasonable, of things that I know about. And, you know, tractors and backhoes and things like that are, when you go to rent them, they're very, very expensive, and, I can understand that.
Expensive to replace. Labor also, I figured it at $75 an hour per employee,
That's definitely not unreasonable.
instead of $31.55.
Okay. Do you need a vote for that to recommend to MoMA?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I move that we approve these proposed changes for equipment and labor. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
There's a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Next item you have, Jeff?
So, the proposal.
You have, vehicle purchases.
Oh, I'm sorry. So, I know I didn't bring anything forward. It's something that's been discussed. The mayor discussed it at the last, finance meeting about think it was $125,000. We've been looking on Gov Deals. There's a few car lots around that has a crane truck, and some other vehicles that we're looking at purchasing. So I just wanted to bring that to y'all's attention.
We did purchase two. We purchased a crane truck for $31,000-ish. Jeff had budgeted a new one for $200,000, so they did an exceptional job there of getting their needs with a 20, what year was it, 22?
That one is 18.
2018 vehicle for $31,000, and then they bought a new crew truck, right? Four-door.
2022.
Yeah,
Newer.
2022 truck. They were purchased here locally through a company. We did sign off on those this week, and have y'all got them there? Have y'all?
No, not yet.
So the other trucks that we had bought from Murfreesboro, so three of them are in. One of them still yet to come in. I talked to Jason yesterday, and he told me that he should have them ready. He said in a couple of days. So I'm assuming it'll take him another couple of weeks.
Those,
Y'all got a crane truck for 31,000
yeah, and Lonnie can tell you about it.
off of
He
the,
did the research and stuff.
off of, what is it?
No,
Something Gov?
we got it here locally at a local dealership.
Yep. The one that's up by People's Bank, if you go through there, that little car lot that kind of sits up, if you look
Yeah.
back behind the old gas station or oil changing place.
Yeah.
He's got a huge selection of utility work trucks back there.
Really?
Truck Universe.
Truck Universe, something like that, and Lonnie, I guess, he facilitated, it came across this week, and we did go ahead
Good deal.
and pick those up.
Good deal.
I think the only thing we're gonna have to probably put in just a little bit of money, right, Lonnie, and add a couple things like a welder or something to it, but, you know, for $160,000 saving,
You
it's
can buy a
definitely
welder.
worth to put a couple of things on there.
More than that.
Because
Yeah.
the new crane truck was $240.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it saved,
$200,000?
yeah.
Yeah.
Good work.
Yeah, no, that's
And,
good find. And then the four that Jeff's talking about were purchased on last year's budget. He's just been waiting on them to come in.
Okay. All right, Jeff.
Yes, sir. So, I mean, I know you had asked me to put this on the agenda, and I thought it was gonna be a discussion, and I just made a PowerPoint slide, for y'all to look at, discuss.
I think it's excellent considerations. I will say, Nelson had asked me to see that this got on the agenda. It's been an item of discussion with me and the mayor, me and the previous mayor, me and the mayor before that, all the way back to Lonnie Norman. And it's time to, I think, study the idea, decide what we want to do as a city, if we want to separate, and if we do, which avenue do we go? Are we gonna, if we do it, are we gonna be a public utility? Are we gonna be a district? Are we gonna be a board? I mean, all of those things have a bearing on how TDEC deals with you, how the state deals with you. Everyone's different. The rules are different depending on a district, a board, and I've seen that. I've run into that being, you know, and Duck River is a real oddball. It's a commission by name. It's not a district because the Tullahoma and Manchester appoint the 6 commissioners. The rules for training are different even. So that's a lot of things to consider when we start talking about the separation. And I think we should do it, but I think there is a heck of a lot of work that has to be done
It is.
to get down that road, and that's putting a burden, and I'm willing to help, but, that's putting a burden on the Board of Mayor and Alderman to come to that decision, and, you know, you may have enough work already, but I think it's great to do a feasibility study, which I think is what you had in this, topic for discussions here.
And I made this, took a little while, just to give people information, sitting at the table that they can go through and read, and if there's any discussion that you want to have over any of this, I mean, feel free to talk about it. I know you don't want me to read.
Let me ask you,
I'll take-
let me ask you a couple of questions that I think you might know, and I certainly have an idea about it, having gone to a lot of these TAUD and professional water conferences. My guess is most towns our size and larger have separated and have a separate water department, water commission or water district, whatever it might be. Towns that are smaller seem to be still being managed by their local city government.
So I know towns back where I'm from, that are smaller than Manchester, that are their own, well, they're their own authority.
They've separated.
Yes, sir. My hometown did, they separated from the city probably, might be 9-10 years ago.
Yeah.
My timeframe could be off, but instead of, they became an,
That's Brownsville?
yes, sir.
Okay.
Which they have an electric co-op, so I think
Mhm.
that, I don't know if just water and wastewater, if you can form an authority, could be wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think that's possible. But smaller towns do break off into districts. I mean, sometimes it's a less headache, in some cases, it's a less headache for the city, the burden of having to deal with state regulations and, I mean, it's a lot of pros and cons to both sides
Yeah.
of the argument.
I'd be surprised if some utilities were started before the city was formed.
Well, that's possible, sure. That's probably happened. I mean, Tennessee's got a gamut of everything in the world as far as the way things are arranged. We've got private laws for each city, and, you know, it creates a charter for Manchester and what they can do and what they can't. In other places, their charter becomes what the state has said. Okay, here's a standard city charter. That's what you're gonna go by. So it's all over the place. And I'm sure they're done, these water and sewer and any utility really for that matter, they've probably done the same way. I know Duck River is very unique, in that it's really a set aside by the state because two different municipalities appoint the commissioners and
So, I mean.
we got different rules.
It could be, if it was to ever happen, I mean, what I studied, get all my thoughts together, it can either be put on the election cycle to where it's a referendum, or, it can be voted on by the Board of Mayor and Alderman, to move forward with the transition, if it was to pass.
So what on here is different than we do today? Is it just the different that you don't want to report to BOMA and you want your own authority? I mean, what is the advantages? As you look through here, most of this stuff you're already charged to do.
Most of the advantage is getting the politics out of it.
Politics of what? Be
Politics,
specific.
aldermen worrying about the next election cycle versus as a utility worrying about the next 20 or 30 years. This is a business. It's not the same as the fire department, the police department, the street department. It has a different, mission
What is the mission?
to provide safe drinking
Or
water
were we
and
not
sewer.
doing-
I didn't say you were doing it. I didn't say you're not doing it. But
I I mean, listen. if you
You,
go through all
okay,
that
you
effort,
promised us 6 months ago we were gonna start getting financial statements. Hadn't seen one yet.
Jeff, do you get them? Do you meet with Anthony?
The board,
So-
the board.
I don't run the board. Mike does, and he's the director.
But
So if you're not.
You
Look,
promised.
they're right
it.
here.
You promised,
I
it.
have mine every month.
We don't. You promised it to us.
To the meetings.
Listen, he has them. Am
I
I
don't.
supposed to provide them to you?
I don't. I
Then
don't know.
ask Jeff, why aren't you getting them?
I'll-
I'm asking a question, right?
Okay.
I have mine for today.
Oh, I know.
Do you
Okay.
have yours?
No, I don't have one.
So
That's
this
why I
month-
asked you.
This month,
I have mine.
I was sent a copy from Mr. Anthony that was, it
2
had some
months.
errors on it, and, I wasn't gonna bring
We're-
with errors.
If we're gonna make reasonable and feasible recommendations to BOMA, we need to see numbers.
Jeff, can you start providing the numbers?
Yes, sir, I've been bringing them since you told me to include it.
I mean, look, Jeff meets with Anthony quarterly. He reviews the numbers. It's his job to report them to you. Okay?
If they're available, we certainly want them in the monthly report. I think that's
Right.
fair.
Uh,
I know we went through a period of time there that we didn't,
I'm not disagreeing.
you know,
I've been here
you know you had that trouble too.
Listen, and
It wasn't
we
just the
all
water
agreed
department.
for 6 months, like Mr. Hunt said, right? And since then, we've been getting the numbers.
Okay.
I'm
Well, we'd
saying
like
the
to see
board
'em.
does.
We'd like to see them in the, I
Mr.
guess in
Hunt,
your report.
You're looking at the wrong person. He gets the same reports I get.
Okay. All I'm saying is you promised the board we would get them.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Jeff,
if
can
you-
we make sure the board gets them, please? Thank you.
And that's the reason I addressed it to you.
I appreciate that, but I've been getting them.
Okay?
Well, I think to answer your question, Mayor, one, the focus of BOMA, is very broad. There's a lot of things that BOMA has to do, we know that. They are focused maybe on politics and reelection and things like that. People, it's like this rate increase was. If I was sitting on BOMA, it would be hard for me to vote for it. I probably would have voted for it because I know the needs for the water and sewer department. But that's a tough decision. If it's just me sitting here deciding what's best for the water and sewer department to provide safe water and sewer, then it wouldn't have been any question I would have voted for it. So that's the politics on one side of it.
Isn't part of politics to offer the citizens a voice?
Sure, sure.
I wanna.
And they should have that voice with whatever the,
Whatever the board, of
whatever
still
the-
have that
But
voice.
if the authority, or whatever you're gonna call this, doesn't have those same responsibilities to the citizen,
yes.
you may make decisions that citizens do or do not like.
Well, they can, ever how they're determined, whether they're appointed or elected or whatever,
I mean,
the citizens still have a
it would be
vote.
best to have, if you go the route of being separated, the best way of having a board is through an election. in
Which,
my
which
opinion.
brings the politics right back into it,
Yeah, I mean, if it's.
right?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
According to what you just
so-
said, we're
No.
worried about election cycles. If you're getting elected, you're worried about election
Well,
cycles. What I'm
but-
saying is,
but
I
you
do
got-
take,
you
hang
got
on, hang on,
one
hang on,
go.
hang on, hang on,
You got
hang on,
one go.
hang on, hang on, it's my turn to talk. Okay, I do take umbrage with, BOMA not worrying about the right thing to do. I do sit on BOMA. I will tell you, the decision to pass the rates was easy for me, because it's what we needed to do. It's the right thing to do, okay? I'm not gonna speak for any of my colleagues on the board, but from my standpoint,
You knew it needed.
my standpoint is we're up there to do what's right for the city of Manchester, okay? Now, we can respectfully disagree on what that is, absolutely. But we're here to do what's right for Manchester, okay? And that should apply whether we're an authority or whether we're reporting to the city, okay? I will tell you, I think that any amount of information we can get, any amount of learning we can do is a good thing, okay? So investigating is a good thing. But from my standpoint, and speaking only for myself, this is a high bar to clear.
This is a what?
A high bar to clear. It's a high
Understand,
bar.
understand.
When you say high bar to clear, what do you mean?
I think that it's not gonna be easy to convince me as a voting member of BOMA that this is a direction we need to go.
Understand that. And when I said an election or elected board members, so there's different ways of getting board members. One is appointments. And, I mean, if BOMA holds appointments, then, I mean, it's the same thing as you being attached to them, more or less. If it's elected, then it's, I mean, it's elected. I mean, in my opinion, you know, it's hard to find people with utility experience. And having those people, if there was any citizen that previously worked in utilities and had knowledge, and having them on the board, that would be very beneficial. You know, and having your own financial officer, which all that's included down the road if it was to ever pass. But, I mean, yeah, taking the so-called politics out of it through the whatever. I mean, I understand that's one of the pros of it. I mean, of course, there'll still be accountability and transparency. A dedicated utility board or authority can provide greater oversight through open meetings, rate studies, and financial audits. And it reduces conflicts of interest where city officials might prioritize short-term budget relief over long-term utility health. And that's just some of the pros again. A lot of times utility districts or authorities are able to get loans and things at a lot better rates and a lot easier than being attached to the city. This is just research I've done, you know, over the past couple of weeks. One of the things is setting the pay scale for our employees. I mean, of course, a rate, if like rate changes would still go to the utility board over the commission or excuse me, the utility board over the district or authority. And it's just like me having to bring it here, then to y'all. I mean, I know the rate change was hard. Some people didn't vote for it, and I'm not mad about it. I mean, but it should have been a lot higher, in my opinion, because we're still in the bottom 10% of the state with our rates, and that hinders us. And I mean, I don't know. I just don't understand. I understand the concept of wanting to provide customers with cheap bills and, you know, that they can afford, but also, I mean, as a business, you have to be self-sustaining. I mean, it also, regulatory compliance in politics, I mean, it helps avoid political conflicts that might encourage, and this is not saying this is happening, but this is just the pros and cons when you look it up. Might encourage cutting corners to delay necessary infrastructure projects, which we have infrastructure projects going on. So as far as like, it improves eligibility for state revolving funds, bonds, and federal grants, since lenders prefer utilities with independent financial statements. It allows departments to set rates based on actual operating costs and long-term capital needs, rather than political pressure, one way or the other, on the rates. It keeps utility revenue separate from the city's general fund, preventing funds from being diverted to non-utility purposes. And that's
not a problem.
Well, you know, Jeff, for me, I think the truth is always in the math, right? So I do think that, again, any amount of knowledge, any amount of study we can do is a positive thing. You're never going to be hurt by knowing more.
So one of the things too, professional management, Separation enables hiring of qualified utility managers and operators who report to a professional board, not just elected officials. And I mean, that could go either way, if it's elected or appointed.
Do you feel like you have a roadblock with that now?
I mean,
And that's an honest question, by the
let
way.
me,
That's-
yeah, let me.
That's not a loaded question, it's an honest question.
It's a loaded question, and let me finish. Encourages decision-making based on technical expertise and long-term planning rather than short election cycles. And it provides more flexibility to retain certified operators and offer competitive pay compared to general city employment structures. So, I mean, the pay, I mean, you can get a certified operator and go somewhere else and make, start out, if they got all their licenses, they can start out $40 an hour in some places. Private sector, you can start out making more money. I know I worked in the private sector, as well as other people in the department, a few other people in the department, and we've made more money. And it's not about the money. I mean, it's,
Talent.
yes.
Yeah.
It's a hard skill to find, and you don't, people in this field are hard to come by. Qualified operators for water, wastewater plants, distribution systems are hard to find. And that's,
Yeah, I don't think that that's something that's necessarily unique. I mean, I work in the private sector, and good help is hard to find.
yes, sir.
And good help in this area is hard to pay. But again, you know, it's math. It's math. And I'm not opposed to listening to anything, but I need to see what is the benefit. And importantly, what do we think the drawbacks are? Because you're not gonna go to authority and everything be ice cream and cotton candy, you know, so.
Thomas, let me say this too. I serve at Duck River, appointed by BOMA. Nelson and I both do, along with Mr. Wilhelm. And we are less, maybe sensitive to the public than BOMA might be. However, if we go out there and raise the rates outrageously, the mayor and you and other aldermen are gonna get a call saying, don't appoint Mike Anderson back to that board. He's crazy. He's raising the rates like unreal. But you won't get those calls if I sit out there and say, no, don't raise the rates. No, don't raise the rates. And we run the place into the ground. Then you're gonna get catastrophic calls because you ain't got any water. So you kind of insulate yourself a little bit. Either way, whether the commission for a utility is elected or appointed, there's still some sensitivity to customers. I think it will always be there. It's just a matter of making that decision of what's best to provide that target or what we're aiming for, which is good, fresh, clean water for the entire customer base and sewer. That's, I mean, I know that, I think the city has even spent money in the water department, which shouldn't have to be happening in the past. I think you have funded that to some extent with city funds. I don't know if that come from grants or tax money, but it came from somewhere besides rates. That's something you get away from. Hey, we cutting you guys loose, you gotta sink or swim, you know. So I think this is just really to get people thinking, discussing, heated maybe, arguments, I don't care. You know, I found out a long time ago, if you get people mad enough, the truth will come out.
Well, and you're right. At the end of the day, we're all accountable to the torches and the pitchforks.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. We didn't have a motion. Is any other discussion on this topic? If not, I will make a motion that we recommend to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen a feasibility study to be done, along these proposed lines. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Terrence seconds. Any other discussion from anybody?
Yes, sir. Could I ask a question?
Sure.
Who would be the guarantor?
Who would what?
Who would be the guarantor
Of what?
of the utility that you're talking about creating?
Guarantor for,
I mean,
like the debt?
yes,
The
right.
utility, the
Yes.
utility has to take it off.
Okay,
It
but
would
where
take,
would the
it
money
would,
come from?
it would take the debt away from the city.
We don't have it now. You pay your own debt now. You
We
do your
pay
own
it,
books.
but we pay it, but the city's responsible for it.
Correct.
Yes.
So
But you're
it's
technically
on,
doing
it's
it all
on your
yourself.
balance sheet
Okay.
right now. If we're a separate
It's off.
entity, then it's not
It
on the
comes
city's
off,
balance
yeah.
sheet.
Okay, like Mr. Anderson said, if you've done this and it didn't work out, okay, at that point right there, you mentioned the state coming in. So I don't see the point.
The state would come in now.
Right.
It's just, I mean, it's a business. This is the
Yeah,
only.
But I hear about politics and all that right there, but you're really not changing anything.
Well, we don't know that.
What? I mean,
That's the point of the feasibility study.
There are various,
But if.
utilities and commissions and districts across the state. There's all manner of things that, can be done to separate
Different
the control.
entities.
Different entities, yes.
But, almost any, I mean, Tullahoma changed, what, 5 years ago? Same reason.
And they ended up getting into even more business. I think
Right.
they're doing, fiber.
They got fiber optic, TV, they got telephone.
I don't know if there's any
But
great
they're-
demand for that for us, but
they're-
you can get
Yeah.
into anything.
I mean, you could possibly have an electric company merge with you. I mean,
Yeah. Sure.
there's a lot of different avenues
Yeah.
that could go with just not being just a gas and water.
Right.
And I'm not opposed at all to a feasibility study. I think a study's, like I said, you're never, done a disservice by knowing more. But
Agree.
my question to your point, Mr. Hunt, is, it is a business. If we need to change for it to run like a business, why is it not running like a business now? That would be my question.
We don't have the authority to do that. We're an advisory board.
So, I mean, there was a comment made to me that this committee had no power.
We
And
don't.
that was made a week ago.
Well, I would tend to disagree. We have taken steps and exercised power. We have,
Advisory capacity.
well, we do the advisory capacity, but we have also made not rate adjustments, but when somebody has a leak, and we have a policy to deal with leaks and extraordinary circumstances, they have come to this board and say, hey, I want to do something different. I've had 2 leaks, or I've had 3 leaks. I want the city to reimburse me for the largest one, and I will take responsibility for the 2 smallest ones. And we have approved that. And they've got that adjustment, and it never went before BOMA, and we made that change, for them. Now, that's an extraordinary situation, because our policy covers 90% or 90 or more percent of those leak situations, by policy. And they have 1 leak, and we have a policy of how to deal with that 1 leak. But we have exercised authority over, I don't know if it's right or not, but we've done that.
We've done
And
that.
you've never had to deal with it, you know.
But that's,
That's right.
Small.
It's very
Well, not
small
but
and
it's
very
small.
rare.
We-
I'm
we-
an engineer, I'm an absolutist, you know? Okay? Don't say never if we ever done it once. But I think you're right, and 99% of the time, we're advisory.
Right. What I'm saying, if it was separate, then you could have people like Mike, like Jeff, if Jeff didn't work here, or anything, with expertise in utilities, that they don't wanna be an alderman, cause they don't wanna get a call from the neighbor's dog's pooping in their yard. But they wouldn't mind getting a call saying, hey, there's a sewer leak in my front yard, okay?
Take that now.
Or, you know.
That's why as an alderman, you have more dogs than your neighbor does.
Right, okay, I understand that, but that's what I'm saying, you could just,
Yeah, no, I
you could
understand.
concentrate the expertise.
Yeah.
Okay, and hopefully it would be a broad range, you know, of everything,
If I could add
not 5 or 6 engineers, that'd be horrible.
Chairman Anderson, I think another possible pro is that if this board was an independent entity, then everyone on it would be required to keep up with the mandatory training. And so the decisions, the business decisions they're being made by people that have ongoing training, where in this case, like with the rate study, with other things that come to BOMA, they're members of BOMA. You know, when I wasn't on this board, I didn't have any utility training, so I would do my best and I would do some research, but I would think you'd want the people making the decisions to be the people that are constantly in school trying to learn more, learn the next thing,
It is.
whatever we can to continuously improve.
It is true, and the training, I get double dose because of being on the Duck River. Usually, Professional Waters Conference, and we go to that, and they pay for that, and then the city of Manchester pays for the TAUD for everybody, and they keep up with the hours they need, and that is required to be reported to the entity every year. January the 1st, we're supposed to turn in a form, here's how much training I got. And Jeff has to keep that on file.
And Donnie knows it, we do learn a lot when we go to those.
More than I want to
I
sometimes.
mean, there's some pretty high level hitters that speak to us.
Yes.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's not just a free trip to Gatlinburg. It's not,
I mean, I never said that right there.
oh, I know, I was just, that's
Basically,
information.
but basically, and I'm probably putting the cart in front of the horse. Off the wall figure, what would it cost for y'all to take over the Manchester? I mean, does any of y'all have any kind
I think that's why studies needed.
of, I realize that right there, but there's gotta be out there ballpark. I mean,
Well, the cost, a lot of it would be probably legal.
I mean, where would that, I guess you'd say startup money come from? I mean, there's payrolls. You're gonna have to hire more professionals, you're gonna have to have a financial.
Well, I've been saying they needed to hire more professionals right now.
So
I've said for years that they need their own financial.
We'd have to have our own payroll department and that does payroll, HR.
Right.
I mean,
But we're paying for that now. We don't reimburse the city for.
Pay the city anything.
but,
I mean, would it take $8 million or $10 million to get this rolling? I mean, that's just.
I have no idea, that's why you need a
Would it take
feasibility,
20?
that's why you need a feasibility study.
No, that seems crazy.
But you think about just the building office. Okay, it's a separate entity. Building office has no right to be in the city hall anymore. You either rent it to the new authority, or they have to build their own building. I mean, there's just a whole lot of things to think about if you go down this road, and I think a feasibility study will get you a lot of the answers. You probably won't get all of them, but it'll get you some ideas of, no, this is totally preposterous, or no, this is something we probably ought to look into, might be a good idea. That's all I think they're saying, to get, like I said, this has been a discussion with me for, Mayor and I have talked about it, Lonnie Norman and I talked about this years and years ago.
That's a good question, Mayor. What services does the city provide the water and sewer department that are not reimbursed? I don't have a clue.
Finance, HR, the things that we pay them for is Public Works pays them $75,000 a year to bill for trash cans.
Who pays?
IT,
The city? Okay.
Public Works pays the billing office $75,000 a year for them to bill for trash cans.
Okay.
Okay, I mean, because it's a fee. I mean, we pay them a fee to bill for us.
Okay.
And then, so they get all the services that are included in the city. I mean, they get IT, all their computer stuff is done for them, all the financial stuff is done for them. HR is done for them. I mean, all those things you have to go out and
Well,
get done.
obviously, those costs have got to, you got to take those costs into account. Yeah, well, I
I mean,
don't think
we
anybody's
discussed-
saying it's going to be cheaper necessarily.
I mean,
But that also, that lowers the city's costs.
no. I mean,
You know,
got-
if you're providing those, if you're providing that for us.
Yeah.
And then you no longer have to provide it for us, or we pay you for it.
Correct.
Maybe you still can provide it, but the water department pays the city.
Well, I mean, listen, in the time that we're in, we've never actually considered billing people for it because, right, I mean, for the last couple of years, we've run a deficit in this department and we've touched into our general fund, right? So, I mean, there's not extra monies to be just saying, hey, we're gonna pay for fine, you know, I mean, so we've never even talked about that. But that's what I think you have to really start considering as you, and I'm like Alderman Crosland. It's okay to do a feasibility study. Let's see what it says, right? I mean, I have no problem with that. But the problems that we're starting to run into now, right, is I don't think as a committee, which is advisory, right, I don't think you get all the information you need. Right? I don't know how you advise us. And I'm not being a smartass, I'm being honest with you, because, listen, it's like you said about the financials.
Why?
How do you advise him whether he can buy trucks or not if he don't give you the financials? Right? And there's bigger things that are coming that you're gonna hear about that we haven't been doing, okay? It's not necessarily Director Perry's fault, he's new. He had an interim or another guy for a year or so before the other guy. But I mean, your depreciation values that you're paying hasn't changed in 3 years. Tell me you haven't added no assets in 3 years?
I would have noticed that.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm just
You
saying,
would
that's one item, right? We haven't been doing our pre-treatment program correctly, right? So, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, there's probably some pros that if you have a board that focuses just on them, that's a pro. Got no problem with that, right? But I think the study will tell you what we can and can't do. We just raised rates, right? And we're gonna get a fraction of probably what we raised them once we fix the rest of the problems we're having. So, granted, it can go both ways, but if you don't have the information or the data, it's hard to guide anybody.
I totally agree, but I think if for the past 10 years we've been autonomous, we've had our own finance people, we've been looking at that all along, or certainly should have been looking at that all along. Jeff, or ever who doesn't, even though it comes under his responsibility, he's got a lot of other responsibilities.
100%, right?
And he may or may not be a financial whiz, I don't know.
That's why we provide him a financial whiz to help him.
Well, but he's got other departments to worry about and try to be a financial whiz for too.
And he has people to help him, he just has to kick some of the noise work away and focus on those
I
type
get
of
that,
things, right?
But I still say utility system's different.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's all based on the money brought in and the money that you spend. You're on your own, so to speak, right?
Sure.
And at the end of the day, there's a lot of grants and a lot of things that need to be considered in the feasibility study, because there's not all the grants that you can apply for if you're not in the city. So there'll be some go away that we've been using, okay? But maybe there's some more that you pick up that we're not privy to today. That's gotta be part of the conversation.
Agreed.
One thing that in the research I've done, it's easier for utility districts, authorities and all that to get different grants than it is being with the city. just what I read in the research. I don't know if that's true.
I'm gonna say there's probably sectors that it is, but the ones that you're getting money from today, no. You couldn't get anything through the industrial board, right? Those are specific to cities and the county. So I mean, and look, we have about $8 million worth of grants working right now with them. And that's a big number for us. But there again, do the study, right? Figure it out. I mean, it's nothing wrong with trying to move forward, okay? But at the end of the day, don't be trying to move forward just to be moving forward in a direction that you don't like where you're coming from. All right, until we get ourselves under control and we quit dipping into the general fund, that should be the main focus of this year, right? Because over the last 2 years, you've taken out roughly $2.5 million out of your general fund. That's not a business that's sustainable.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
and that falls back on the rates
Rates.
and
Exactly.
the money that has been either ignored or denied by, I mean, I know not all the aldermen want a rate increase and fee increase and all these things that I'm gonna be providing. But, I mean, it's not to make us a standalone entity. This is to make our department sustainable. And if we don't get these increases that you vote no on, then you're doing it, I mean, you can agree or disagree, and you and Mr. Thurick can disagree with the
Well,
changes.
didn't you call out my name and?
I'm just-
William's name here?
I'm-
Do I agree with the 35% tax increase when you
It's
did
not
not
tax.
even include one of your biggest customers?
Who's that?
That's Hillsville.
That,
I'm not sure.
that has the, when that contract,
I have a question about that. We're getting way off the topic, but
Well, we
let's
are.
go ahead.
We are, but how can you do that right there? A year and a half or 2 years ago, you guys out here knew that this right here was coming up as far as the increase. But somewhere down the line, I don't know how many years you signed that contract with Hillsville. Is that a 4-year deal?
that's something, when it comes time for that to come up, that's something that's gonna be looked at.
Yeah, but it won't be looked at until 29, I think.
I'm not sure about that, Donnie. Brian and I negotiated that contract with Hillsville. And I want to call him and find out exactly, or get a copy of it. I was under the impression that we set those rates and Hillsville agreed to them based on a percentage charge for what we were charging Manchester City residents. Now, if it was a fixed rate that we set for them, then shame on us, shame on me, because we should have had the foresight to say, hey, rates could go up, we should have done that. I don't know what the contract says
But
now.
was it just 2 years ago that there was a rate increase as far as the water department, or am I wrong about that?
There might have been a small
Two
rate
years
It was
ago.
2
increase.
years ago, but it wasn't enough.
Oh,
And
I understand that right there, but what was it 2
I
years
mean,
ago, guys?
for
Y'all
us
were the
to
water
still be
board.
dipping into the general fund with the problems that we have within our infrastructure, within our plant, I mean, I'm not trying to set rates, and I don't want to use the term that's in my mind, but to stick it to the city, or stick it to the customers, rate-wise or fee-wise. I'm trying to make, to be honest, that rate should have been double.
Exactly, back then.
I'm talking about the rate that y'all passed. I should have said it 75%.
So at that point there, you say it should be double, that would be 70%. So at that point right there, the state should almost come in and take over.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't
And
doubt
we
it.
wouldn't be in no worse shape.
Well, the state, if they
If we
come
keep
in,
going the way we're going without rate increase, the state would be coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
and, I mean, would you rather it be set by us or by the state?
But to bring the conversation back into the context of what we're talking about.
Sorry.
No.
Thank you.
I don't think that going outside of the city is a magic wand for those issues, because you still have the pitchforks and the torches, you know.
I mean, yeah, they're gonna come regardless if you change the rates.
They're gonna come at you regardless. So it's, whether it's 35 or 70 or 200% increases, there's a lot of tough decisions to be made there. But I think a feasibility study, and to your point, we need to make sure those hidden things, the HR, the financial director, they don't get lost inside the bigger issues of the study. But I do think that a feasibility study is a fine idea. I think it's a fine idea. I worked for a guy a long time ago who said the data will tell us where we need to go. And I believe it.
Amen, amen. Jeff, I do have somebody get that contract with Hillsville and see the specific language. Maybe the mayor's already done that, I don't know. I've heard that their rates wasn't going up. That may be true. If it is, shame on me and shame on Brian for not foreseeing that possibility. But in my recesses of my mind, we set that as a percentage of, and it was like 1.25, 1 times 1.25% of what the city was paying. And if that's the case, then Hillsville rates will go up commensurate with the 35% increase. So I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. My memory ain't that good. I'm 72 years old.
I need to reread it, but I think you said it right, except you're collecting the wrong person. You're saying on our rates to the citizens, and I believe it's 1.25 on what we're being charged. So every time Duck River goes up, I believe Hillsville goes up.
1.25, okay.
Just so that we always stay where we're not.
We're not losing.
Them to take
I
our water.
remember that part of it, unless
Yeah.
there's something
That way the
else.
margin stays consistent from what I
Right.
remember
Okay.
reading. And their rates are based on when Duck River raises rates. Okay.
Thank you, Mayor. That's good.
Now, look, I mean, we
Let's
may
look at
be
it closely,
wrong,
but I think maybe you're right.
I read it a while back.
Yeah.
And the other part, we're in the grace period. There's a 5-year grace period since we didn't renew whenever it came
Yeah.
due. For whatever reason, we were probably in some transitions or whatever was going on, but there is another 4 years or so on the current one.
I mean, again, I don't know how, moving forward, legally we'll charge them.
Well, here's how you can do it. If the mayor is correct, and I think he probably is, they come to us wanting to negotiate way back when the rates were set such that it had no anticipation of the usage that they had gotten to. And so they were paying an exorbitant rate at the high end of usage. And they come to us wanting to renegotiate the contract. And that's what we did. There was no contract expiration at that time. It was just, hey, guys, we gotta have some relief. Can we sit down and talk? And so Brian and I did that, and we got them to agree to the new contract. There ain't nothing to say we can't do that today and go to Hillsville and say, guys, you know, we're hitting our in-city customers 35% increase. We think we need to readjust your rates as well. And maybe they say, go fly an airplane or something.
Were you saying that the original contract was 5 years and had an automatic 5-year renewal?
It had an automatic 5-year extension if a new one wasn't negotiated.
So, and nobody negotiated a new one, so it rolled over?
We're in that 5-year period.
Okay.
All right, let's move along. We still need a vote. We have a motion and a second for the separation, feasibility study. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passed. Jeff, you have one added item there for
Yes, sir.
water pumping.
So our water treatment plant has 2 pumps in it that are in I think did you tour the building?
Yes.
Okay, so I think I've conducted 3 tours of that building to show the issues over the time I've been here. And got a quote together, Adam did, with some of the work we'll be doing in-house, rerouting the pipe around the plant. And Adam, if you want to touch on anything, the total figure of the extended price is $132,278.25. And I did send it to Anthony as well, just.
Could you repeat that quote?
It's $132,270.
New building, new pumps.
So, yes, sir, there's some work.
I don't think that 132 includes building. I think there's another 67 to build that, something like that. He can send it in two separate PDFs, it's probably,
Guess so.
the issue there.
I have to look back, I don't think I got that one.
Seems like when we talked about this internally, we thought it was gonna be close to 250 when it was all said and done.
When it's all said and done, that's the Jeff's point, that some of it's gonna be done
Yeah.
in-house, so by the time you buy the valves and fittings and pour concrete,
That's what I'm
pour
saying.
slab,
You're-
the electricity, you know, and do all that stuff, that yes, the total price, and that's a rough cost, since they're doing it in-house, we don't really know, you know, until materials and
I would suggest if you're going to make a motion or vote on it, that you ask for 250. And if you come in under, it doesn't hurt anything, but to go over is a bigger issue.
Good point. Good point. Are you looking for a motion to recommend this to the, at $250,000 to replace the old water pumping station?
That's the
Get
bottom.
rid of bills that are up there in the upper floor for 50 years old?
Yes,
I
sir.
don't know what we're supposed to do with that stuff. But I was almost horrified. I walked through there and pulled up just one piece of paper, and it was a bill of material for some job back in 60s or 70s. It was old.
Are they gonna demolish the old building?
So that'll
Yeah.
be something we'll have to look at once that's completed, and the asbestos and everything, I'm sure that goes.
It's just
with
about has
asbestos.
to, yeah.
So it would,
What's a substantial structure though?
Maybe,
It's
I
like a
don't know.
pillbox.
I didn't feel real substantial when I was walking
Well,
down
the
that
roof's-
top floor
the-
up
The
there.
roof's not done.
Yeah, the roof's about to
Solid-
come in on you.
Solid concrete.
Well,
Isn't it
yeah,
the walls?
yeah, the walls, but
Got a fine for it.
it may be something you could make use of, part of it, yeah.
Turn it into a paintball.
All right. Chair will entertain a motion to approve, or recommend $250,000 to replace the water pumping station on the current bid.
Where in the budget, Jeff, will this come from?
I sent it to Mr. Anthony, I'll have to look at the budget. It'll have to come from water maintenance, I would assume.
I'll move.
Gary makes the motion. Need a second?
I'll
Terrence?
second it.
All right. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, the last item that was added is commissioners' comments. I do have some, I'll save mine for last. Thomas?
No, sir.
Terrence?
I've said my piece.
All yours.
Well, all right, let me first of all, I didn't know that we were gonna change that quick. Welcome, Thomas, glad to have you on this
Thank you, sir.
commission. Look forward to serving with you. Thanks to Julie and the mayor for shepherding the rate increase. That's not an easy vote. And, it's a little heartburn for Boma, and I know that. So I appreciate, just being a leader and getting that through. I know this water department needs it. Jeff, I wanna bring up, the J.E. Sarton water extension. I think John had a pretty good article, or maybe it might have been might have been the radio station, I don't know. But it's a good article in there about that status. And, Mayor, that's something we need to do. Those people need water. They're really hurting. And
I mean, I think that this group committed to doing the labor.
yes,
And asked the county for the money. I appreciate Director Perry standing his ground and saying, look, if you want to have fire hydrants and those things, the line needs to be bigger. So to me, we absolutely need to help the best we can, and we've put our cards on the table on what we can do to,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I think the county's still discussing what they want to do and
So
still
I
deliberating.
got quotes on the pipes and sent them in. For the pipes, I think the lowest bid was $93,600 for the pipe.
Yeah.
And, I don't know where they're at, because I don't,
Yeah.
Which size pipe?
6 inch.
6 inch.
To put, big enough to put fire under?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. Jeff, the concern is tying this line into a 6-inch line at 16th model.
Yeah, so there's 2 different pressure zones, which.
Well, let me ask, did the county pay for that 6-inch line to, 16th model road?
I haven't, that's.
See, that's a contention they have, that they've always paid for just a 4-inch line. And now we're saying, well, you really need a 6. Well, if we got a 6 out there, we need a 6. I won't argue against that.
I can tell you that when I first was a commissioner 7 years ago, the city or the county had bought $500,000 in piping. And then a few years in, I think we did audits and stuff and said, hey, the city had put all that in.
Okay,
And then they
yeah.
never have redone it.
They never did
For years. but
restock.
I don't know what the size was. I do
Yeah.
not remember.
Well, we didn't say it had to be 6, did we?
I did.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
did, you wanted 6,
Yeah,
okay.
definitely.
Well, if it's
Okay.
got to tie into a 6-inch line, that's a
Okay.
smart thing to do.
Yeah, I'm not saying it shouldn't be, our question.
And plus, if they
I
want
thought
fire
the
protection.
county was the
Well, I
one
mean,
saying that.
That road has growth. I mean, I think there's only minimal houses on that road right now, and
Who knows what the future holds?
But if you put water down that line, the road,
Yeah, that-
it's likely to.
That does help.
yeah,
That does.
sustain it.
All right, exactly.
Now, whenever.
One last thing, Jeff, I wanna compliment you. I think you've been here a little over a year. You've done an extraordinary job of a whole lot of projects going on and contracts, water main breaks, sewer overflows, everything that's come down the pike has been a lot. I think it's been a very, very remarkable job that you've done, you and your team, and I appreciate that. Having said that, I wanna say this, there ain't no time to let up. We've still got a lot of things to get done, we wanna see done, completed. Some of these projects that we're doing from grant money are drawing to a close, as they should, but there's more coming down the pike all the time, so I wanna keep you hooked up and keep plowing, because these things they're out there and they're gonna, no matter what the future holds with the water department, management or whatever, I just wanna see that continue. I think you've done a good job, but let's keep it going. With that, anybody else have anything? If not, we stand adjourned.